Yo, 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 what is up, everyone? Happy Wednesday! Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone's doing very well. Without any further ado, let's get my fat head on the screen and see how we are looking today. Oh my goodness, what is happening with my camera these days? Yo, 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 what is up, everyone? Everything is... Where is that coming from? Yeah, something's fucked up with my camera. Something is really messed up with my camera. I wonder why... It's going dark and bright. Something to do with auto exposure, I think. Yeah, it wouldn't be a follow stream if we didn't have technical difficulties to start, for sure. What's up, Veslin? What's up, Bulla Felix? What's up, Sis? How we doing, boys? What's up, Marquise? What's up, DK? WAGMI. This fucking dark fucking man. Hey, I'm terribly sorry for this, but we gotta fix it. We gotta fix it. I really don't know if I did fix it there. I just played around with some settings. It's very annoying because my room is so bright. It's auto brightness, it's auto exposure, which I have turned off. Which is alarming. Let me see. Sony blah, 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 blah. Lighting. Exposure going up and down. Yeah, okay. It seems to be okay now. I'm not sure why. Something to do with auto exposure, yeah. How long has... He's been there. He's been there for a long time. He's been there since... like for over a year, I would say. The top two are both is it? I can't even see. Users in chat. Yeah, the top two guys are actually no longer friends of mine. Have decided not to be friends with the stream anymore. Probably a few in that top 10 now that I'm looking at it. Probably about 3 in that top 10. This is what happens though. This is what happens. Who's a LARP? No, I don't agree with name calling. But yeah, one of the guys had we'll say he had strong opinions about the way I was running Chroma and wanted to do something better in another group, which is now closed. That group ended up rugging. Is the X chat working, Sis? Because I'm in it and I don't see any activity. It is. All good, but I don't see you in the X chat. I don't see anyone in the X chat. Do I need to refresh? I don't see anything in the X chat. Oh my goodness, there. Okay, I just needed to refresh. Man, fucking Technologia. Absolutely wrecking my head these days. We had BC Richfield on yesterday. He was our special guest for the Chroma Market Roundtable. My mic was not working. Couldn't get it to work. And someone in the chat was like, have you tried closing Discord and opening it again? Of course that was the thing that worked. Of course that was the thing that worked. What's up, Jake? Good to see you, bro. What's up, Phil Ninja? My boys. How you doing? Good to see you, boys. Yeah, we're live on YouTube today. We're live. So it was a Streamlabs issue. Something to do with the Streamlabs servers. I'm not exactly sure. Don't ask me. And the camera seems to be fixed now as well. Something to do with the Streamlabs servers. I don't really know. I went into their Discord and apparently a few other users had had a similar problem just with YouTube. So it's all fixed now, I think. So let's fucking fingers crossed it doesn't break again. The prophecy speaks of those who overgive to followers of streams will be forever tainted. Yeah, I mean, I wonder what the correlation there is. I wonder what the correlation there is. Maybe there's none. What's up, Zofa? You closed your BTC long at 78.7. Where did you long from? I mean, if you long from the bottom, then it's still a good trade. What's up, Micro Sailor? Who's ready for a big black? What's that? To the downside? Everyone bombard X. Well, I saw it. We got it. Coffee. BC Richfield was amazing. He's a good speaker. He's been doing this for a long time. I've met him a bunch of times. Really nice guy. He was a guy that I had obviously met him, and he won't mind me telling this story. Like when you go to those events in Singapore and Dubai, like some of them get pretty messy. And I think there had been an event in Singapore that I must have met him at. I don't really remember. I think I was wasted. And I met him again subsequent to that, like at an event towards the end of it. And he was like, yo, Follis. And I was like, what's up, man? And I was like, who's this friendly guy? I was like, fuck, I vaguely remember talking to him. Super friendly guy, super nice guy. We've stayed in touch ever since then, yeah. Good chatting. And what's up, Haj? He's a super smart and personable guy, yeah. He has a lovely voice like me. I'll take that. He is that English accent going for him. Same with Luke. Do it for the culture of the brain rot. I can't even remember what that was in relation to. They remain forever entombed in the Streamhouse. That's the thing, man. That's the thing, you know. They got the last laugh. What's up, the real Lemmy? Financial freedom is coming. You just need a short, right? What's up, M Big Poker? How you doing, sir? Foolish. Exactly. We've made it this far. Yeah, exactly. 82K is here. We almost hit 83K just before the stream started. Speaking of which, let's get a prediction going. I think the stream is back to full functionality now. Isn't it hilarious how the camera is somehow working now? And I didn't do it. I clicked a few different options. Man, technology, man. I'll never fucking understand it. I just fucking clicked a few fucking options. Didn't even turn anything on. Okay, bullish or bearish NY open. I'll give you guys 15 minutes. Boom. That is running. Follow us reads the chat in the opposite direction. True. 75.1 was the entry. Nice. That's still a good trade, bro. I remember I caught the short from 107K, something like that. And I closed at like 101. That shit was trading at 60K like a month later. I might get laid off my job due to owner change of the company. My time for the Chroma arc is loading. Let's go. Every cloud is a silver lining, right? Did you guys see Coinbase? So first of all, sorry to hear that, Beer. Like that sucks. But you never know. It might be one door closes, one door opens, you know? I just hit my 4-year anniversary of going full-time crypto, and you know, I look back on that moment as being a real crossroads in my life. And you know, maybe if things had gone slightly differently in the job that I was working at the time, which was I was working as a solicitor in a big law firm in Dublin. You know, maybe if things had gotten slightly differently, you know, maybe I'd still be there. Maybe I'd still be there. Maybe I wouldn't be doing this streaming thing with y'all. Still a good trade. Exactly. You're coming over to YouTube because the X chat is broken? I can see the X chat. You've been too much bear on these predictions. Time to turn bull a bit. Yeah, I feel like there's a danger there. I feel like there's a danger there. Yo, what's up, Jedi? John Follis. That is me. John Follis. Do we have we have a, I don't know, do I have a picture of it, but in Singapore last year, Matt with the repos. Let's go. Appreciate it, Matt. In Singapore last year, we had a private driver for the week because we're bougie like that. You know what I'm saying? We're bougie like that. Bitunix, shout out Bitunix. Actually, they sorted us out with a private driver for the week. But I needed a name. I needed a first and second name. So obviously, like, I didn't want to dox, so I just said, like, whatever, John Follis. And when we got to the airport, there was like our driver was a girl, little woman, holding the sign that said John Follis. I thought that was very funny. Very funny. Who was that? Star Viewer, Film Ninja, my man. Let's do it, and then we're into the charts. Star Viewer. Boom. That's not how you do that. Boom. Film Ninja. Someday we'll have Claude will do that for us. You call it the Schmiko Deco bottom. There you go. There you go. All right, boys. We're going to get into the charts and look at what New York Open has in store. You changed career at 32. I changed career at 30. Bro, you think I'm 36, 37? Down bad. Down bad. You guys are supposed to pretend you think I'm younger than I am. That's the game we play here. Yes, I was 30. I qualified as a lawyer in my 20s. No one can ever take that away from me. I qualified as a lawyer in my 20s. Now, it was 29 and 11 months, but it was still my 20s. That's true. It was literally 29 and 11 months. But it's in my 20s. In my 20s. Can't take that away from me. AI would have taken my job. I don't know. There's a lot of shit that I was doing that AI could have done better. Yeah, for sure. But also there's a lot of stuff that I don't think, like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on around the courts that I imagine AI is probably not being let anywhere near. But yeah, stuff like client advice, especially low-level advice. Yeah, I feel like ChatGPT is probably a good use case for that. I wouldn't be surprised if lawyers were seeing fewer billable hours because of that stuff. Hey, what's up, XS? My man. 34 subscriber months. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. What a legend. XS is a good guy. He's one of the good ones. One of the good ones. One of the smart ones. It's always nice to work with smart people, but it's even better when they're smart and good. That makes my life a lot easier. Economics and 3 years left. Do you think... Oh, sorry, Follis. I am not enjoying college at the moment. Should I just finish it so I always have a backup plan or get a full-time job to get the trading portfolio up? I mean, bro, you can't be asking the streamer for life advice like that. You know, that's a big decision, man. Talk to your family, talk to your girlfriend, talk to your close friends. Don't be asking streamer Follis. You know, streamer Follis is barely able to get his shoes on in the morning. Don't assume that I have all the answers. What I will say is that I always had a backup plan, and that felt like a very safe, that felt like a very big safety net for me. Fucking yeah, appreciate the sub. I always had, man, before I ever got into crypto, I had an undergraduate degree, I had a master's degree, I had a professional qualification degree, which meant that I was licensed to practice law in England, Ireland, and Wales. Right? So I always knew in the back of my head that if something really fucked up with the crypto thing, that I had a safety net. You don't want to try crypto for 5-6 years and then realize that you hate it, and then your safety net is, you know, get a job at the drive-thru, something like that, you know. 10 years of hustle, yeah, something like that, something like that. Throw him a copy pasta, yeah. I've good life experience. I do have good life experience. I'll take that. I'll take that. But yeah, as I said, man, different strokes for different folks. I always knew that I had something to fall back on, and that kind of gave me a little bit more, I would say a little bit more confidence pushing forward with what I needed to do. I'm way undereducated on paper, not even a single degree. Well, you don't need a degree. I'm not saying what I did is what you should do. I'm just saying that it helped me because I knew that I had something to fall back on if the crypto thing didn't work out. But it does look like I would be very surprised. I would say the odds of me ever going back into law now are like less than 10%. Probably even lower than that. I also don't think I would be particularly employable in law because I've like completely missed. I've missed out the last. No, I shouldn't undersell myself like that. But like a lot of guys my age are already like partners in law firms, and if I went back, I would be basically going back into like a junior level position, which I might not even want, to be honest. I'd be better off just fucking. I'd be better off just, I don't know, better off getting a job as a Discord admin or something. What's up, you're my G? If everything went south tomorrow, if I got liquidated for everything, if crypto came to an end, then maybe I could get a job as a Discord admin somewhere. Wouldn't that be? That'd be the life. Or an emoji creator. I get a job as I'd open up a little Fiverr shop, designing emojis. That'd be a good one. What's the inscription on your mug? I can't be saying that now. That's a very. Is it really? Oh god. Wow, that caught me off guard. It was a gift from one of the mod team. What's up, Chroma Trading? Good to see you. What's up, Reynolds? Good to see you, bro. If you own a bank of $1 billion, if you owe the bank $1 billion, that's the bank's problem. Exactly. Better off just longing for Filecoin, yeah. Can't wait for more modules. They were awesomely written and comprehensible. Let's go, Harabon. I love that. It's like the first piece of feedback I got, man. You're gonna bring a tear to my eye. But that's normal. We launched the modules 1 to 3 less than 24 hours ago. FYI, guys, for anyone watching this who isn't in Chroma, we launched modules 1 to 3 less than 24 hours ago, and yeah, I think now people are understanding why it took so long. There's like, how many fucking sections? There's like 10 sections per module, so that's 30 sections, and each section has sometimes as many as like 8 to 9 subsections. So there's, I actually haven't counted how many sections we have exactly. Marquise probably knows, but it is, you know, like 150, something like that, about 150. So that means 150 coherently written subsections, 150 graphics, right? Everything interlinked, cohesive idea. Yeah, it's big, and you know, we're still only like 25% of the way there. Going from 1 to 3 was so immersive. Oh, I love this guy, Harabon. Who's this guy? Harabon on YouTube. Have you ever ran a half or full marathon? No, I haven't. I'm actually, I would not say that I'm the best long distance runner. For me, 10K is actually quite a lot. I've only run 10K like twice in my life, and both times it destroyed my body. I'm quite a big guy. I'm 100 kg and I'm in the gym most days. And I like running. I like getting outside and I like running in the park. But for me, like 5K that's what my body likes. Any longer than that, and my knees and my ankles. And it's not just being an old man. I've always been like that. Even when I was younger, knees, ankles, joints, they don't really like doing the longer distances. 5K is good. Knees are a scam. Yeah, I like that. I agree. Pro traders about to be born from that syllabus. Let's go. God, I like these YouTube comments. Holy. Holy. Running on asphalt or concrete is just so bad for you. Yeah, so it's actually not even that an issue because I've done runs on grass. Random dude, appreciate the YouTube sub. I've done runs on grass before. That's also quite. It's like taxing in a different way because you're always trying to adjust your feet. I find. I look, man. I like exercise. I love fucking getting out there. I like doing cardio, but I think that when you get to my age, you kind of realize there are certain things the body likes and certain things the body doesn't. I much prefer cycling or playing sports. Playing sports is a good one, or even just fucking walking, man. I think running at this point, I've kind of come to realize after 2 decades of trying it that running long distances isn't for me. I'll still do the odd 5K. I like the 5K distance, but anything longer than that. Cycling, swimming is the best, yeah. There's a German guy who is currently running from the Death Valley to Santa Monica. Wow, 600K. Yeah, that's intense, man. Yesterday, my girlfriend told me, now you can't run a half marathon without practice. Today, I proved her different, but wow. Now my body's hooked. That's incredible, man. Gigafalls. Yes, exactly. God rugged us with knees, yeah. Before TRT, 35 years old. After TRT, 35 years young. Is TRT testosterone replacement therapy? Is the implication that I'm on testosterone? I've never taken any steroid or peptide ever. Not to say I wouldn't, because I think that once you're a proper old man, like once you're in your fucking 40s or 50s, yeah. Get on some gear, you know? You know what I'm saying? Just get on some gear. If you want to stay stay pretty big and looking pretty good in your 50s, yeah. Get on a few cycles, you know what I'm saying? Like XS, I was waiting for it. No, XS, as much as I love you, you're not the first person that comes to mind when I think of jacked, steroid abusing 50-year-old men. Not the first image that comes to mind. How long did it take for me to run 5K? So my 5K time, my best 5K time is 21 minutes, which I don't think is bad. That was with a little bit of training. That was like after I went through a running thing about 3 or 4 years ago. No, longer, like 4 or 5 years ago. And that was after like maybe 8 months of training. I got it down to 21 minutes. I was aiming for sub 20. Sub 25K would be really good for me. Never got that far. I also really want to run a 5-minute mile. And the closest I ever got was like 5 minutes and 20 something seconds, close to 5 minutes 30 seconds, which again is good, but always wanted to run the 5-minute mile. Not sure I'll ever get it. Where can I find more details for the courses? Is there a public section in Chroma Discord? There is a public section in Chroma Discord, but the courses are not available there. We'll put out marketing materials about the modules over the coming weeks. The thing is, I don't want to the reason we're not like blowing it up on X and posting about it all the time is it's just 3 modules. There's going to be 12 modules at the end. You know, module 1 is introduction to trading. Module 2 is market structure. Module 3 is supply and demand. Module 4 is going to be liquidity. Module 5 is inefficiencies. Module 6 is support resistance. Module 7 is fib levels. Module 8 is indicators. Module 9 is auction market theory. Module 10 is order flow. Module 11 is risk management. And Module 12 is trader psychology. I'm so disgusted in myself that I know all those off by heart. And those are just the core modules. Those are just the core modules, the 12 core modules. We then have supplementary modules. We're going to have a tutorials module, which is tutorials on how to use various exchanges and trading terminals. We're going to have a macro module that is going to look at like I guess like analyzing the macro, like the global financial systems on more of a high time frame investment type outlook. We're going to have a DeFi module, which is like covering like how to trade like all things DeFi, DEXs, on-chain trading, that kind of stuff. And those are the supplementary modules. We already have an entry model, supplementary module. So it's a big project. Can we rename module 7? Yeah, exactly. 20 minutes is really good. There you go. Bro knows his business. Yeah, something like that. How long did it take on the training? About 6 phasing. What's 6 phasing? Oh, sorry, the 5K. I guess I trained for that for almost a year, maybe 8 months. Cool. I just summarized it with AI. That's the thing. I think that I am firmly of the belief that because anyone can just go on to ChatGPT and say, teach me about price action concepts. But I think anyone with half a brain understands that you're not really getting any value from that. That's why I'm trying to make it as experiential as possible. There are many instances where I speak about something that I have found, like in my experience to be true, right? It is purely in my experience to be true. So like, there's a lot of instances where I'm like, all right, boys, like what's one? Yeah, for instance, in auction market theory, like people always talk about how important the developing POC is, right? I fucking never use developing POC, and I say that in the syllabus. I say, hey, let's cover it. It's important to know what it is, but I never use it. And I don't see the use case for it, right? There are a lot of cases where, like, I was just writing a section last night about drawing ranges. I was like, yeah, common advice is to draw your range by doing this and this, but I actually find that what's better is to actually do this and try and take a more holistic approach. Again, it's trying to make it as experiential as possible. I think that we're already seeing it. But particularly as AI gets more advanced and pervasive, and kind of the AI experience, the AI content experience becomes more and more ubiquitous. I think that there's just going to be this huge pullback, this huge pushback against it, and it's instead of devaluing human created content, it's actually gonna increase the value of that type of content, because people are already seeing it now. You're seeing this, people have this automatic distaste for AI generated images, AI generated emails, AI generated XYZ, and that doesn't devalue that doesn't take away from the value proposition of creating educational content, for example, from scratch. It actually adds to the value, if that makes sense. The real difference between your syllabus and ChatGPT is GPT only gives information which people already have, but the syllabus is a system which anyone can learn and apply. Exactly. And that's what most people are lacking, a proper system. Yeah. My liquidation emails are my modules, yeah. You're grinding for Member++? Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, the Member++ is it's a good target to grind for. Right, boys, should we start talking about some actual fucking charts here? So, New York is opened. and we're seeing a little bit of downside here. My view on BTC hasn't really changed, which is that we are trading into resistance at channel high. We are trading at a logical level for a pullback, but that doesn't mean I'm jumping into shorts here. In fact, it's actually, I would say it's the opposite now, where this to me is starting to look more and more like an actual breakout. The daily EMA 100 is a really good heuristic of this, I think, where we spoke about the confluence of these two EMAs and how breaking above would be a good signal, a good early signal for reversal. And what are we seeing? Break above, we even retested it, and now continuing higher. That's not to say that we can't just fucking turbo reverse here, but in my opinion, it's starting to look increasingly like a successful auction. Right? And we covered this on Friday's stream, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it here, but you know, the main purpose of the markets is twofold. And I think, Marquise, did we post this as a short this morning, this afternoon? Maybe we can link that in the chat. But the purposes of the market, the primary function of the market is twofold. You are always trying to facilitate the most amount of two-way business, and you are also trying to seek fair value for the asset being traded, right? So here, we're seeing a potential auction higher. Price was doing a lot of two-way business between February and April. And then about mid-April to now, we're seeing this push higher, right? Price is auctioning higher, repricing higher. Fair value for the asset, according to the market, may be higher. For that reason, we may be seeing a return to the value area that we created between November and January. For me, the key level, as I've said already a few times, is 86K. I think that is going to represent a pretty big pivot. And it's a pivot because that's how value works, right? Price is currently imbalanced. We are currently trending, right? Price moves from ranges to ranges, right? It ranges 70% of the time, then it trends. Then it ranges again, then it trends, right? Another way of looking at that is price moves from being in a state of balance to being in a state of imbalance, right? This is being in a state of balance. Both buyers and sellers are engaged with price. You have a lower boundary that's acting as support. You have an upper boundary that's acting as resistance. I wish I knew why my fucking chart was being... Let me just restart this. I wonder why that's being so schizo. Is this helping? No, man. Oh my god. I don't know why that is the case. Trading view. Maybe I have too many tabs open. You guys can't see, but I have like 35 tabs open on trading view. So maybe I need to close a few of them. Because look, it's... Oh yeah, it's shit, man. It's really... Anyway. Price moves from balance to imbalance, right? We have balanced price action like this, then it reaches a state of imbalance, it moves higher, and then it reaches a state of balance again, right? For me, the last zone before kind of before like February to April, the last zone where price was balanced was November to January, right? So because price is imbalanced now, what it is seeking is an area of prior value, an area of prior balance, right? And the bottom boundary for that area, for that zone, is around 86K. And again, these are approximations. You shouldn't be saying, okay, well, we're gonna reject from 86.4K to the button. It's not really how these areas worked. They are based on volume. They're based on volume profiles, which, as you know, are, you know, it's like saying, oh, we need to bounce here but not here, or we need to bounce here but not here. That's not really how volume works, right? It's an increasing scale of likelihood. So what does that mean? It means that, well, wherever price is going now, it's very hard to assume that this trend is going to end. It's very hard to assume that, yeah, this is it now, and we're going to go back here. I think more likely is that we continue to 86K. Slow grind up, something like that. And at that point, it's decision time. Whether or not we reject, come back to the previous value area, which the top boundary of which is around 74, 75K, or whether we enter previous value area, reclaim, at which case the rotation higher becomes quite likely. Sorry, it's really pissing me off, actually, this fucking trading view shit. My MacBook is also lagging. Yeah, I wonder why, but this is a fucking brand new laptop, man. It cost me $5 grand. It should not be lagging. It's something to do with TradingView for sure, because TradingView is just lagging. TradingView and Streamlabs, the combination of those two together is not good. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Not a big deal. I just think that drawings for today are probably haram. Yeah, latest TikTok is up. Alts are rugging. ChatGPT will spit out superficial, dubious content. I've seen plenty of dubious content from ChatGPT. That is true. Bezos is training its AI on Twitch chat. I don't know what that means. I think I gotta post this on Twitter. I can't stop thinking about this chart. Might need to reopen it in a new tab. I don't think it's that. This is the TradingView app. What's up, Victor? One small question. What does composite mean in the context of value areas? So I have covered this. I have covered this in detail in our new module. Let me module 8 is, and it's completely written, by the way. Yeah. Here you go. You can screenshot that. That's hopefully easy enough to read. It is effectively just overlapping areas of value. Multiple sessions or multiple distributions. And it gives you it can give you a better contextual idea as to where the market is actually creating value or where value has been established, right? So like the example I used here, BTC ranges between 90 and 100K. So imagine you have, let's just pull everything up here. You guys see that? Yeah. So imagine you have BTC ranges between these two levels, okay? And then there's a bullish catalyst, something like this. And then creates value here. And then comes back, right? Something like that. And we can look at this and say, you have value created here. Bruh. I say no more drawings, then immediately immediately start drawing. And value created here, right? Now let's say you have, I'm just conscious of how tiny these drawings are, I'm very sorry. Let's say you have a value area for this guy that's like here, okay? This is your value area. And let's say your value area for this guy is here, okay? Something like that, right? Let's zoom in a little bit here, because or else it's probably just a bit confusing. Okay, Now, going forward, you can, of course, just trade from one of those two value areas. But what's quite useful is to look at where they overlap, okay? You take the area of price that is common to both, and you get this smaller composite value area. Do this in white. And this is your composite value. Right? Very simple idea. It's just using multiple distributions or multiple profiles in order to ascertain where the market has created the most value in a series of distributions. That's basically it. Very simple. Chubby V with the 40-month resub. Let's go. We love the resubs. Thank you, Chubby V. Long-time supporter of the channel. Last value area high, recent value area low. Yeah, that's also something to be aware of, yeah. Mr. Big Poker with the 25 stream streak. Let's go. What's up, One Shot Fire? No worries, Film Ninja. Hope that answers it. Could you share your input setup for the fixed range volume profile? Been testing both 70 and 40 for the value area. The value area is a defined thing. It's between 68 and 70. 69. The meme level is the best. Why are you using 40? The idea is that it's the first standard deviation. And the first standard deviation of any distribution is like the middle 68.2%, I believe. The second standard deviation is like 95%, and the third standard deviation is like 99.2% or something like that. Jamie, pull open standard deviations. Yeah, I kind of got it right. We're gonna have to do some addition here. Oh my goodness. No, I can't do that. The writing is the writing. Who is that? Lewandowski! My man, appreciate the follow. Is that based on Lewandowski? The Polish the Polish football player who played for PSG or something, right? Don't ask me how I know that. The 40 came from some YouTube video I watched. No. I'm sorry, but that is incorrect. Okay. So first standard deviation. A distribution is just a method of visualizing data. That's all it is. It is just a method of visualizing data. Okay. Distributions are used in trading. A volume profile is a distribution. Distributions are used in trading to visualize volume and business. To visualize things like volume, time at different prices, right? So in auction market theory, you have two main profiles. You have volume profiles, which show you how much volume was done at various price levels, and you have market profiles, which show you how much time price spent at various price levels, right? But in both cases, both market profiles and volume profiles are just distributions, right? They're just showing you data, right? Now, I know that most people, when they start trading, the volume data that they're used to pulling is the volume indicator on TradingView, which shows you volume per candle on the bottom of the chart, right? And that's useful. That's useful for showing you how much volume was done in each hourly candle, in each daily candle, whatever, right? But if you want to go even further and you want to get a little bit more granular, you can use a volume profile, and that is just a vertical distribution of the volume that was traded in each session or in each candle or in each price leg, whatever it is, right? It's just another way of showing the data. But once we have that data pulled, we can make some interesting observations, right? particularly regarding the first standard deviation of volume traded in that profile, right? So that brings me to this diagram here, right? The first standard deviation is the top 68% of data in that distribution, right? It is, you know, Dalton says that it's where the asset is seen as fairly valued by market participants, right? In a two-way auction process, it is where both buyers and sellers are willing to engage with price the most. And as we mentioned earlier in the stream, that is one of the functions of any market in auction market theory, is to facilitate as much two-way business as possible. And that is done predominantly in the value area, which is the first standard deviation of volume traded in a profile, in a distribution, right? You can basically ignore, and I'm saying ignore because for the purposes of trading volume profiles, you don't really pay too much attention to the second standard deviation or third standard deviation, really. That's the 32% or 31% of volume that occurs outside the value area. You don't really pay a huge amount of attention to that. You pay a little bit more attention to it in TPO, time price order, which is market profile. I don't trade market profiles myself, but I know a little bit about them. But in volume profiles, you mostly pay attention to the first standard deviation of volume, which is the value area. Okay, and that's it. And that gives you things like, it gives you things like volume profiles. It gives you things like value areas. It gives you things like composite value areas. It gives you things like points of control, right? Which is the highest level of volume traded in a profile. It gives you, you know, value area highs. Let's make this. It gives you value area highs. It gives you value area lows. All right. Thank you, Sirla. So that's basically it. That's it in a nutshell. But don't be playing around with the value area. The value area is a very specific thing as defined by, I don't actually know who created it, but Dalton is where I learned it. Jim Dalton, whose book Markets in Profile is a really good read, actually. I read through it over the last few weeks. And unknowingly, I had actually been trading his concepts for many years. Yeah, the first standard deviation of volume in a distribution is the value area, and that's a very, it's a defined concept in auction market theory. So, you know, I wouldn't go messing with that. Once you start messing with that, you're no longer really trading according to AMT principles. Does that make sense? I feel like I was chatting for about 10 minutes there. You can clip that. It's pretty high level, but we can clip it. Yeah, the 40 came from some YouTube video I watched. I mean, I would be, if you watch some guy talking about a 40% value area, then he probably doesn't know what he's talking about. If I'm being honest. Is there any discount now for subscribing on Chroma? There isn't. We don't really run discounts very often. We just ran our 4-year anniversary discount. I will say this, I promise that when all the educational modules are uploaded and launched, which will probably be later in the year, probably like end of Q2, start of Q3, we will do something. We'll do something. End of the summer, we'll do something for sure. But nothing at the moment. Thanks for that video about being a perma-bear contrarian. I lost a lot with that mentality and I switched to being cautiously bullish, flexible, and a ZEC long from 380. Turn my ear around. Let's go. My boy. We're going to pin that. Love that one thinker, man. I cannot pin for some reason, but it's a good message. Thank you. Oh yeah, we have a blowfin bonus running. There's a chroma blowfin bonus running. That is correct. That is running for the entire month. We have 2 promos running this month. We have a breakout promo, which is 2 $100,000 accounts will be given away at the end of the month. And to be eligible for that, you need to sign up to breakout as a new user. You need to buy on the chroma code as a new user. Some people DM'd me about this. Unfortunately, it's not for existing emails. So if you need to set up a new email address, you can. Not always possible if you've already gone through the KYC process, though. No problem. I know you have me blocked. Wait, are you the guy who we were joking about? What's your handle? That one thinker. No. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, you are blocked. Okay. You're unblocked now. That was funny. That was you made a plea. You made a plea to my heartstrings that made me want to unblock you. When was that? A few weeks ago, and then when I went onto your page, I was blocked. That genuinely made me laugh. But yes, no, I don't even remember why I blocked you, to be honest. No harm, no foul. I'm always willing to give people a second chance. The thing about blocking is when I was growing my Twitter account from, I started with fucking 0 followers like the rest of you. And that's all organic. I never once paid for followers. I never once fucking botted followers. I never joined any of those like-for-like engagement fucking telegrams or anything like that. It was all organic. It was all homegrown. But something I always did before I hit 100k followers, so on the road to 100k, is I never blocked anyone. Never, ever blocked. Because in my head, even guys who are being shitheads in your replies, it's still adding to the algorithm. So even dickheads or gobshites, and I'm not saying that that's what you are, that one thinker, but even guys coming into my replies with negativity or toxicity, it's still adding to the algorithm. It's still helping my growth, right? That was my logic. And that worked until I got to 100k followers, and then I was like, okay, now I'm at 100k. I'm gonna change my tune, because I was getting, it's Twitter, man. So, I was getting some pretty fucking crazy comments. So I said, I'm gonna start blocking. Now that I've hit 100k, it's a good milestone. I'm gonna start blocking. So I think that was like over a year ago. I think I've only blocked maybe 50 accounts since then, but yeah, anyone who comes in with just straight up negativity, it's just an easy block. But yeah, nothing personal, it's just business. Will this stream be available for replay? I missed a lot. Yeah, all the replays go up on Twitch. All the replays go up on Twitch. Can you show us the settings of your volume profile? Man, it's the default settings. I get asked this all the time, man. It's the default settings. Let's get alpha here. It's the default settings. So are you talking about F4 VP, right? $69 is what I have my value area set at, because that's obviously the most hilarious metric. That's it, man. Default settings. Being a perma bear is a package that comes with a shitty personality. Now as a nooble, I found my smile. There you go. We need to talk about the prediction. Oh, we do. We do. The Bears carried this one. The Bears carried this one pretty easily, actually. But I wonder, are we going to see the reversal now? Usually when you get this price action to open the New York candle, you get at least a short-term reversal. Let me do that right now. The bowls in this song sounds like caribou. Wow, the Bears were outmatched over 2-1. GG the Bears. GG the Bears. I'm a big fan of this track. Huge fan of this track. It's called it's Christian Loeffler. Can't remember what it's called. Mount Grace. Huge fan of this track. I'll post it in the chats for you guys. I'm shorting on my main. I'm predicting bullish on your stream. There you go. Hedging for dinner, yeah. It was your first ever, and you won. Let's go. GG Bears, yeah, exactly. Seems like engagement across CT dropped a lot after 10-10. Oh, yeah. Oh, dead. Dead. The thing is, there's still an avenue. Like, some of my most engaged with posts of all time have been in 2026. You just need to know what has traction and what doesn't. Unfortunately, and it's a little bit of a shitty reflection on CT, but like bear porn gets a lot of engagement. I try and limit how much I post that, but every once in a while I'll just post a chart with an arrow going to fucking 40k and it gets like 1,000 likes. And that's an unfortunate reality of it. I try not to do that too much, because if you do that too much, you really lower the quality. You really lower the quality of your content. You really lower the value proposition of your channel. Imagine hearing this drop at fucking 3 a.m. You're off your rocks. Video content is doing... My video content is doing pretty well. I think that's something I should have been pushing a long time ago. Right, rather than just on YouTube, I should have been pushing a lot more video content on X. I know they're trying to boost that in the algo, so it's probably getting a boost now. But like, just in general, like there aren't many crypto traders who are fully face doxed and as charming as me, right? No, but there aren't many guys. Most people are anonymous profile pictures, and that's totally fine as well. I actually kind of rate that. So if you have a unique selling point, then you should be tapping into it, right? You made so much florins, you don't even care if you get liquidated on your BTC along. Yeah, exactly. Outrageously good. Boys, I'll take some chart requests. We'll do a quick look around the charts. I need to tidy up my charts for sure. A few of them are out of date. 2 hungry cats. What a fucking handle. Oh, wow. Yeah, so we were right on this. We were completely right on this. Just never got our entry. Just never got our entry. Really, the correct read here, for sure. It was, in fact, a cumulative PA. And this high has now been taken. Yeah. Interesting chart. Good read. Just never got into a position here. We missed our entry by, I think, like 3 or 4%, right? Yeah, about 5%. And price then pumped 85% to the upside. We'll do buy, yeah. They're also promising to heavily promote live streams. Yeah. I think the live streaming that I've seen on X has, in crypto at least, has not really had that much traction. Yeah, it's just doing all right. But I think just that's more of a general commentary on crypto, on CT. Because there are fewer people. There are fewer people in in crypto now for sure than there were. And there were a year or two ago for sure. That's what it feels like. VVV Fly, I'm still in my lung from $3. Let's go. Beerlac, nice. Ultra looking so hard. This is like this is probably top 5 tracks of the year for me so far. And I don't know, it came out like 10 years ago, but I just heard it this year for the first time. This is like exactly what I fucking like in a house track. Very cool. We fucking nailed the MUSDT long or short. Pity I didn't execute anything on this one, but yeah, very nice read. Very nice read. 42%, 43% move to the downside. We did release a YouTube video on that. Or was it a YouTube video? No, it wasn't YouTube. It was a X video. So feel free to go. Maybe Sis can link that in the chats. But that was a nice read. Fartcoin. Fartcoin has my attention. You guys might remember we did this analysis like a while back. We did this analysis back in fucking March. I said that I was looking for this to play out like a deviation. And that once we start accepting back into the range, which kind of looks like we're doing now, and kind of also breaking out of this low time frame range. You guys know I like nested ranges, nested channels, nested ranges. We had one of them recently on, what was it, XMR or something? Yeah. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. This was beautiful. We fucking nailed this one. So remember I told you guys that, and you know, again, this was like back in early April we looked at this. I said that, you know, we were in this low time frame range as part of a higher time frame channel. What you wanted to see was a breakout of the range, a retest here, continue higher, mid channel, and then push the channel high. Now, after that, it's pretty much exactly what we got. Breakout, retest channel high, push up to, sorry, retest range high, push up to mid channel, a little bit of resistance at mid channel as is expected, and then push up the channel high here. Very nice, very nice. I guess it also helps that, you know, most other altcoins have moved 20-30% in the last month or so, so it wasn't a genius level read or anything, but nice read nonetheless. Aster, still waiting for this barcode. It's been barcode PA now for almost the entirety of 2026, which is crazy. I wonder what's happening here. This stinks. This absolutely stinks to me. Why is Aster not moving? Just something, it feels very manipulated. It feels very, nah, I don't like it one bit. XMR analysis played out so well, couldn't have been better. Yes, sir. Ion Aster must be pretty high. Huh, actually not. Down pretty significantly. Down like 40% since it started this barcode PA. That's interesting. JUP, we can look at JUP for sure. X livestream views are fake views. Default view counter. So it's not, they're not fake views. It's just anyone who scrolls past the video on their timeline. But we knew that. That's been the case for over a year. I've been live streaming on X since early 2025. We always knew that that was the case. Congrats to crypto for being more hated than politics. Yeah. What about Tau? I have oh wow. I'm very bearish on Tau high time frame. I would actually love to short it around 400 if we got a chance, but we shall see. We shall see. Could even be a short here if I'm being honest. Tau might be a short. Just looking at it now. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at the chart enough, but My analysis on Tau has been bearish for a while, and I don't think that's going to change. Hype, again, just looks like fucking market maker buy model. It really does. Nothing more to say that. Aster is absorbing longs after the high is taken. Its fate is down only. Yeah, potentially. The whole thing stinks to me. The whole perp deck space stinks to me. LIT is the same. Everything that's not named hype. I saw a silver fucking pumping. Silver and gold both pumping. Come on, we need our downtrend continuation pattern, right? Ton, say we'll look at yeah, they can mute people, yeah. There's way fewer people in the crypto space, well, for sure. That's what it feels like. Bio, we're gonna look at Bio, Jupe, and Ton. I know I said I wouldn't open any more charts, but oh yeah, it's crawling. It's crawling. Okay, that's Bio. Now we'll do Jupe USDT. Interesting. And Ton USDT. I kind of want the perps for all of these, actually. Oh, well, we had a read on this. Oh man, does anyone remember that short we took on Ton? That was like 2 years ago. Crazy looking at charts like that now. Wow. Oh, we'll leave it there for posterity. Wow, this looks fucking awful. Oh yeah, I mean, this is a fucking short. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's a ridiculous. That's just a ridiculous looking chart. All of the... Why is it straight up in a fucking line there since the start of the week? Yeah, that's very scammy. I have a feeling maybe we run it up one more time, but this is probably going to be a giga short very soon. And it might be a case where you just wait for the momentum rather than just trying to fade this high momentum. Maybe you get something like this and then that's your fade, you know? Maybe something like that. I would not long this in a million years. This is a short soon. Oh, Telegram is going to be a Ton validator. Yeah, so I saw that. Yeah, probably worth a little bit more consideration on second thought. Just because I don't know the actual nature of that fundamental catalyst. But yeah. Okay, I retract my statement ever so slightly. I'm not 100% sure that this is a guaranteed short. But I probably will look to short it at some point soon. Let me quickly... That's the end of that set. That's a good fucking set, man. I think we put on... King Kudo. Is it just me or is that super loud? That sound effect. It's not just me, is it?
And your music is amazing. It was so amazing with this place.
Your music is amazing. It is so amazing with this place. Gotta love the French.
Was out of this world.
It was out of this world. Am I wrong? Are the sound effects super loud? Wow. I just think The French need to just cop on and speak with a proper accent, you know? Boss, you're killing it. What's that in relation to? Streamer changed his bias. Get him, boys. Telegram is banned in their key market, Russia. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Telegram founder is taking full control of the TON Foundation, become their main validator. Yeah, so I saw that, yeah. Shorting alts is a dangerous game, yeah. Yeah, I retract my statement. I'll be sleeping on the couch. But I still think this is a short soon. We'll look back, we'll check back in next stream. Jupe USDT, do you have a time frame that you would like? Who was that? Serlo. How do you pronounce that? S3 or 1093. I'm gonna say Serlone. Serlone. What's up, great comeback? Do I have an entry for what? What's the difference between an uptrending channel and a bear flag? The difference is I don't know what a bear flag is. I would say that's the main difference. They're probably the same thing, no? If a bear flag is this, and I don't know, I don't trade bear flags, but I'm gonna guess it's this. Is that what a bear flag is? In that case, there's no difference. An uptrending channel is just part of the bear flag pattern. Am I wrong? Am I right? It's supposed to be serio. Serio. En serio? This is funny. Sorry, this is very funny. What the fuck is happening here? Sorry, how many fucking touches is that? One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Call that 9. And call that 10. Interesting. I mean, play the support line until it breaks, right? Probably that. At least until proven wrong. At least until proven wrong. The set that's playing now, by the way, is Who Made Who. I think they're Danish. 3 dudes. Really good fucking music, in my opinion. There's so much liquidity to go for here. I think they're Danish. Maybe something like that. This is some fucking high-grade hopium. Something like that. I don't really know. I don't know too much about this chart. Jupe. And this kind of conflicts with my bias for the market. Maybe not. I think we get a green May. Mildly green. Maybe this sends 60%. Not unreasonable to think that random alts might pump this much. Crowd is bullish. Cats are nasty creatures. Okay? It will eat you if you die at home and no one to scoop you up. I agree. How to come down to like the H1 M15 to form good setups for say 3 to 5 ore consistently? That's a pretty big question. Multi-time frame analysis. We're covering that in the syllabus. We actually have that covered in the supply and demand module. Section 3.9. Have you read it, Jake? LIT can still take out the low before the pump. Yeah, I like LIT. There's so many people in my fucking circle using LIT and trading on it all the time, doing all their volume on it. I find it hard to believe that it'll just continue to piss down. Bears are afraid of cats. What the fuck is... What's with all the cat chat? Am I missing something? Bears are afraid of cats. Cats are nasty creatures. I don't understand why everyone's... Am I missing context? I don't understand why everyone's talking about cats. Bio H12. Would you believe this is the first time I've looked at this chart? What the fuck? Nah, I don't want to trade this. Is this... Why is Purdue bullish on this thing? Why is he trading this thing? How do you even position on these coins? I know Jonesy is a long somewhere, doesn't he? That scares me. Otherwise, you'd be looking at this as a really nice order block. And you'd be like, yeah, man, this is what you want to see. But why don't I like that order block? What is it missing? What is the crucial component missing? Why is that not a high probability order block? It's not an A+ order block. Someone tell me why? You don't trade OBs, but a sweep. Yes, correct. Correct. It is lacking. Liquidity below. Yeah, exactly, passenger. It is missing the key consideration here, which is a sweep. If we had gotten this and then, then you might look at this order block very differently. But at the moment, price trades down here, man. You're saying, well, I'm kind of looking for a sweep. Now, this is fucking bio USDT, so liquidity concepts are only go so far when it comes to these absolute shit coins. But if you don't have a system to trade, then you don't have a system to trade. So you have to stick to some kind of rule. Shouldn't the OB be a down close candle? This is a lesson. This is something that I cover in module 3. Do not get caught up. That is like that's like order. I feel like, you know, fucking all power to guys like Maine and ICT and, you know, guys who have taught order blocks to people for so many years. Like, that's where I learned order blocks, first of all. So that was my exposure to supply and demand zones as levels to trade. But I actually think it's caused quite a lot of damage, is the idea that, like, it's like the last down candle before the up move that broke structure and caused displacement. Like, that mechanic, it's good to know those rules so that you know when to apply them, when to ignore them, when to break them, when to fucking discard them completely, right? But that completely, like, that's not how fucking markets work, right? Try and take a step back and think about what is actually going on in an order block. What is actually going on in a supply or a demand zone, right? That causes it to become tradable. That causes it to give a certain reaction to price, or the expectancy of a certain reaction to price when price comes back to revisit that zone, to mitigate that zone, right? And it comes down to a core concept that many people miss, which is, where is the consolidation that led to the expansion? Where is the balance that led to the imbalance, right? Where is the range that led to the trend? And again, it brings it back to market structure. It brings it back to ranges versus trends, impulses versus corrections, right? And that's the fucking fascinating thing about trading, is that the more you get into trading education and the more you read about varying concepts, the more you realize that many of them are trying to do the same thing, right? You have, like, on the surface, you have two differing methodologies with auction market theory and price action. But actually, you realize that, like, you know, auction market theory, volume profile trading, they're looking for poor highs and poor lows. That's just equal highs, equal lows in price action trading. They're looking for excess at the top of the profile. That's just the liquidity sweep. They're looking for single prints in market profiles. That's just the fucking inefficiency in price action, right? And there are multiple instances of that, right? I shared a diagram on Twitter recently. Let me see if I can share this here. Nope. Let me see if I can share this. Oh, Jesus Christ. I shared this diagram on X recently, and I think there's a really useful lesson in this, which is that, yeah, sure, you're going to get a bunch of traders that will long here, right? They will take the long at this level. They will take this long and they will target this high, right? 2-or trade. But then when you ask them why, you're going to get potentially some conflicting answers. You're going to get some guys say, oh, that's a strong level of support resistance, right? Because we retested it here. We retested it here as a bearish resistance level. And we're retesting it here after breaking above, after flipping it from a resistance level back to a support level, right? You're going to get some guys to say, well, actually, no, it's, no, bro, this is a breaker. Look, this was your, you know, you have a bearish zone here. You have a bearish zone here. Bearish zone here that flipped once price broke above it. It flipped to a breaker, right? I'm gonna make this. That might be a little bit too fucking right. And you're gonna get guys who just look at this swing, this zone as just an order block. They're not gonna get caught up in the minutia of breaker, support, resistance, whatever. And they're just looking along the retest, right? None of those three guys are wrong. They're all looking for the same level for different reasons. None of them are wrong. And in fact, there's going to be some traders that are looking at all three of those factors of confluence in order to theory craft a, you know, a kind of a holistic overview or this kind of trading framework through which to view the markets, right? To trade the markets, to analyze the chart. And that's not wrong. That's a good approach to have, right? So I think that rather than trying to get caught up in like, oh no, it must be this or this. Like, this is the only methodology that works. We can't look at other methodologies, or no, this is correct, the other ways are incorrect. You should always try and have a very open mind when it comes to like reading the charts and analyzing price action. You're always trying to just add like feathers to your cap. You're always trying to add increasing amounts of or you're trying to add more factors of confluence to your read of the market in order to give more confidence to your interpretation of what's happening, right? If you have one factor of confluence at a level, great. If you have 5, that's a lot better, right? It's going to give you a lot more confidence in the idea. So coming back to the order blocks, got a little bit distracted there. The key consideration is where is the consolidation that led to the expansion, not where is the down candle that led to the up move that broke structure, right? Because if you zoom in, this is the H4. If we zoom into the M15, what do we see? we see consolidation. This is consolidation. That's your expansion, right? Whoops. Bruh. Bruh. What have I done? Jesus Christ. Okay. And you see it here as well. This is your... Oh my fucking Christ. My fucking trading view. This is your consolidation. This is your expansion, right? And that's the question. And when you zoom out on a high enough time frame, these are going to be... There's just going to be like 1 or 2 candles, right? But let's say you zoom out. Let's get rid of these drawings. Let's say you zoom out and you say, okay, well, actually, no, I'm going to look at the down candle that led to the up move. It's going to give you like this candle, which is kind of stupid. That's not where the consolidation was that led to the expansion. That's the down candle that led to the up move, but it's not really, you're not really looking at the dynamics behind that move. Where is the consolidation that led to the expansion? Right, and there's a whole fucking section of that in the new module, man. If you go to, so 3.10 is 1. Go to 3.10.1. I'm gonna write these down because these are important for follow 3.10.1. And also, top-down approach, refinements, applications. Trading order blocks. That's not it. Order blocks in context. That's the other one, 3.2.4. If you want to follow up on what I've just covered, please read those 2 sections. Order blocks in context. So I say the rules around order block identification are heavily contextual. They should not be interpreted literally all the time. Sometimes it does not make sense to mark the last down candle beside it before an upside move. Sometimes it makes more sense to mark the last 2 candles or 3 candles or whatever the fuck it is. Sometimes what is an opposite color candle on one time frame might be the same color candle on another time frame, etc. Sometimes there's no clear candle to use as an order block at all. So don't get too caught up in the down candle, blah, blah, blah. Focus on one key consideration. Where is the consolidation that led to the expansion? That's it. The theory is simple. Markets range before they trend. Before each impulsive phase is a corrective phase. We're merely attempting to identify where this corrective range occurred. That's it. And this is likely where the supply and demand is. That's it. That is it. Bio already pulled a 4x off the bottom. Yeah, I bet it did. Yeah, it's crazy shit. No worries, passenger. Throw a coin, yeah. Throw a dart. Hope that answers your question, passenger. Boys, I'm gonna call it there because I'm kind of losing my voice now. I need to go. Speaking of the educational content of the new training syllabus, I need to go work on module 4. So we're gonna call it there, boys. Hope that was helpful. That was a good one. We covered a lot of random educational content there. I'm in real fucking educational mode at the moment, as you can probably tell, because all this stuff is like spinning around my head at the moment. Not doing so much trading at the moment, but it's just because I don't have the time. But lots of education, which is good. Lots of alphas, exactly. TRT. What's TRT? Trust AI. I see it listed on MEXC as the only exchange. Interesting. No worries, apples. Thanks, Jake. All right, boys, we're going to call it there. We are back on Friday for the final stream of the week. Didn't do any stream this week on Monday because had to work on the trading syllabus. We're back on Friday. That'll be the final stream of the week, and then I'll let you know about my schedule for next week. I'm not sure. We might go for 3 streams, or we might go over 2 again. 2 seems to be a little bit of a better sweet spot for me. Just gives me, it feels like I get an extra day to just lock in and do some actual deep work. Not that I don't love hanging with you boys, but it's time that at the moment is at a real premium for me, because I'm really fucking rushing to get this stuff done. I want to get it fucking done this quarter if possible. There's still a long way to go, but in any case, boys, we will chat to you on Friday. We're back on Friday, same time, same place, so I will see you here 30 minutes before New York Open. Until then, try not to get liquidated, and I will see you next time. Yes, exactly. Last thing I'm going to say, we have a breakout promo and a blowfin promo running all this month. Details are in the Discord. They're also on X. They're also in the chat. The breakout promo is, there are 2 100k accounts being given away at the end of the month. You just need to purchase a breakout account with the promo code to be eligible to win. It's a nice little bonus add-on if you're already buying accounts under that code. The blowfin promo, the details are in the Discord, but it's basically there's $5,000 as future bonuses being given out to the top 3 traders by volume in the month of May. And the top prize is $2,000. Is it $2,000 or $3,000? I need to check that. Yeah, top prize is $2,000. Ah, and lucky prize drop rule. Okay, I understand. So there's 5k futures bonus being split between 13 traders. So $2,000 for the first person, $1,000 for the second person, $500 for the third person, and then the next 10 are random. That's basically how it's going to work. Thanks for the alpha. No worries, Microslay there. All the details are in the Discord if you want further clarification on those rules. Or you can just open a ticket and ask. But yes, we will catch you on Friday, 30 minutes before New York Open. See you then. Try not to get liquidated, and we'll catch you next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts. Love you. Bye-bye.